Like, it's not just about kicking somebody's teeth or something like that. There's a lot of people in Mexico, when they see boxing, they're like, oh, that's boxing, that's great. But when they see mixed martial arts, they think, oh, that's super violent. I never want my kids to do that. But if they see like, okay, these people are martial artists, they're respectful, and kind of like what one championship is doing, no, in Asia.
Hello, welcome. This is James Cox with the Martial Arts Lifestyle, and this is episode number 75. And episode number 75 today, we have a very special guest from another country. We have, through Zoom right here, all the way from Tulum, Mexico, we have Mr. Fernando Barrera. This is with Tulum Fight Club. So it's a pleasure to have you, sir. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you, James.
My videographer, Alyssa, who actually does martial arts, she'll train with me and cross-train at different places when she travels. And she was in Tulum, Mexico, doing some work and stuff. And she wanted to get some workout in. And she found you guys at the Tulum Fight Club there. And she's had nothing but good things to say. And through that connection, it's always about connections and relationships and who you know, right? And she connected us and thought we could have a good interview. I'm excited and the content that we can provide. So we got a lot to talk about, man. But why don't you start, Fernando, and introduce yourself, your kind of experience in the martial arts and this journey that you've had so far.
Perfect. So yes, as you were saying, I'm from Tulum, Mexico. I started doing martial arts when I was like 8. I did Taekwondo for 5 years. I went to a few competitions and I didn't get my black belt because I needed to be like 15 years old. And by that time, I got really tired with the waiting, and no more competitions. So I left martial arts for a bit, but then my father actually started doing Thai boxing around at age 40, and he really loved it. He had a few professional fights, and then he transitioned to MMA. His last fight was at 50 years old, and that was like very inspiring that was very inspiring for me. And by that time, he was like, okay, I'm gonna open my own gym. He opened his own gym in 2014, I believe. So that was like 8 years ago. And me, I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it a try to Muay Thai. And slowly I got myself into it. I did a few amateur fights, and I just really loved it. I haven't fought professional because I always thought like maybe the money is not that good, and it's not. And nowadays I'm moving to boxing. I'm gonna debut professional on September in a regional league here in our state, and I feel very excited about it. I've been training with very high level people, and I think really I have a goal, and it's better money than Muay Thai, definitely. But I love martial arts. I still do Muay Thai. I still spar. I still clinch, and I also practice sometimes jiu-jitsu. I'm all down for martial arts.
Awesome, man. Yeah. That's where it's at, and that's a good journey, man. And congratulations on your pro debut, and good luck on everything that you do. You know, I've had the privilege of going to Mexico City. I have some good Kajukembo friends there with Jukenza, and man, maybe 10 years I probably go once a year there. And I fell in love with the culture, the people, and a little bit different. I mean, it's different. I'm not going to say better or worse, but just different than what we have here in America. A big thing that I noticed right away, at least there at that gym, and I was curious if it's common in the culture, is one, they train really hard, and it was really regardless of the age or the rank. Like, I seen kids train with adults, kids train just as long, and it's hard to imagine a 7-year-old, a 10-year-old, a white belt or green belt training 4 hours, 6 hours, and alongside adults. If it's a seminar, a special event, you know. So do you see that, like the culture there of just the work ethic, and maybe it's a little bit more about the appreciation of the value? I don't know, but
Uh,
you know,
yeah, I mean, in Mexico, people really love martial arts, and I think our top two is boxing. That's the number one, and then the second is taekwondo. A lot of Mexicans love taekwondo, like traditional martial arts, and they really like. I've seen seminars where there's kids training with adults, and they're really into it. Like they, at least like I can talk about a certain group of people that really like the discipline aspect that brings martial arts, because it's not, and these people, they don't want to make a living out of the martial art like I'm trying to do. Is like they see the value of martial arts that can bring to the rest of their lives. I definitely see that a lot in martial artists, like not fighters, martial artists. Yeah.
yeah, that's true. I've learned a lot with this as well, and um, things change. But I see the same thing. Teaching good quality martial arts. We want to instill life skills. Want to be character building. Sure, we want the students to know how to fight, defend themselves, but first be good people. Focus on the discipline, respect. Those kind of things. Sometimes you don't always get that with just straight fighters without any traditional martial arts background. They just come in and want to fight. But you do. It's a mixture, I guess. But yeah, I was always really impressed with the culture in Mexico, and how hard the students worked, and just a good level of appreciation. And we have it here as well. It's just different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's different. And well, at least here in Mexico, like a few things are not, I don't think like all martial arts are known. Like if you told them about Muay Thai or Jet Kundo, like they don't have any idea. For most of Mexicans, they only know karate, taekwondo, boxing, and that's it. And yeah, the culture's still not there. It's not really big, but when there's people into it, they're really into it, and they really try to live like that lifestyle.
Good, good. I remember when everybody used karate, as like a generic term. We're going to take karate, or we take karate, and really it could have been taekwondo, kempo, judo, jujitsu, shotokan, but everybody called it karate. Nowadays, it's more, they call it martial arts or MMA. But a lot of people didn't know the difference. It's like, I'm taking karate, but really they were not taking karate. They were taking Kempo or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I,
Well, if I, for example, I there's a hotel that I go, and there's like a lot of waiters and staff, and I do a boxing fitness class in this hotel, and people call me the karate guy. Like, like
yeah.
for them, it's like they have no idea what I do, but it's karate. It's karate, and like that's
Yeah.
that's what they know about martial arts or boxing, whatever. But yeah, for most people, it's the karate guy. Yeah.
Yeah, right, right. The same way I was called Karate Guy, or Bruce Lee, or stuff.
Yeah.
Before
Oh,
that, it
yeah. Yeah.
was
Bruce Lee. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So explain to us, I mean, and to the audience, like, because you probably get that with kickboxing as well. And I talk with and train with some high level Muay Thai guys, and they don't call it kickboxing. They're proud to call it Muay Thai, right? Yeah, right, right. So boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing. Differences, you want to explain some of the differences with
Yep.
those. So
Yep.
yeah.
Sure, for sure. Well, let's start with boxing. Boxing is just the art of the sweet science, just using your hands. I would say boxing. I like to think that it's a martial arts for me. Sometimes are combat systems, and boxing is a great combat system. But there's no philosophical areas or anything. When you go to a boxing gym, it's mostly like people are like they don't care if you're in time or there's not a lot of like the respect. It's just like a doing like a sport, you could say. And then I can talk about Muay Thai, which is the most that I have experienced. And Muay Thai is really a culture, way of seeing the world, a way of lifestyle, because people that really do Muay Thai, they really do Muay Thai, you know. They know like the bow, they know about being gentle in your strikes, and of course there's a big difference between some people don't know the difference between kickboxing and Muay Thai. But in Muay Thai we have the clinch, which is massive, like on a fight. It's so different. I remember, having it was a championship match in an amateur circuit, and I lost because the other guy didn't know how to strike, but he knew how to clinch, and the whole fight was just clinching. And and then I would say kickboxing. It's kind of like more related to boxing, in what I've seen. At least sometimes there's people from Holland here, and they're different. Like they are more like, "Hey, brother, how are you? What's going on?" They're super chill. And then Muay Thai people, they tend to be more like gentle, more like, "Hey, how are you?" They In Muay Thai, there's really like the respect, very important, very important. I definitely see Muay Thai as the most, probably the most respectful sport. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that as well. Very, very good people that respect the art and they want to, they don't have anything to prove. Yeah, you can fight, but you can also be, polite, courteous, helpful, and they want to share the art. A lot of them too, and just some of the differences. It's like what we were saying about how there was a time where everyone, any type of martial arts, they just called it karate, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
us teaching certain styles, we would just accept it or kind of roll our eyes. Okay, yeah, I'm a karate guy, but I don't even teach karate. I teach Kempo or something, right? But kickboxing be kind of the same way. And now there's a lot of competitions where you can enter different divisions. It may be a kickboxing event, but you can enter low kick, waist up kick, Muay Thai, and just the differences. I believe boxing is their strongest foundation, and good, strong boxing skills will go a long ways, man. And boxing is so different. I had a couple of boxing fights, and I definitely preferred kicking because you're so toe to toe, and the hand speed and the body shots. I mean, from straight boxing, those dudes can eat you up, Yeah,
Yeah,
but
definitely, definitely. And I mean, from my experience training, definitely, I mean, in boxing, I've been the most, beat up,
hmm
because it's just your hands and you don't have like a lot of like protection. Let's say in kickboxing or Muay Thai, you can use your legs to create some distance, and it's not the same like in boxing where you can only get hit on the from the waist to the head, and it's like, I don't know. In my experience, I think boxing is a little bit more like, more damage to the body. But man, yeah. What do you think? Like, what do you think is the most, hardcore of those three? What do you think?
I think boxing because again you're forced to be toe to toe. You can't kick to push them off from. You can't take them down and lay and pray and ground and pound. You're in a ring where you're locked in, So yeah, it can be tough, man. You don't have to worry about things. Okay, my legs are not going to get kicked. Okay, I'm not going to get taken down, choked out, or arm barred.
Mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
and there's only two hands, right? But those hands can do so much that I really respect boxing. It's awesome.
Yeah.
hmm
Sometimes when I'm thinking about what I'm doing and like, the sparring sessions, the only thing that really worries me is my brain. Like it really does, man. That I'm thinking like, I want to debut professional. Let's see. I want to win definitely and scale up, but at some point, I gotta respect the sport and protect my health, because I've
hmm
seen, in Mexico, like you see the old coaches and they are beat up, man. Like they barely can talk, and they're like, I don't want to end up there. Like
Yeah.
I
No.
know I gotta know when to stop, And I think, for example, in Muay Thai, I think honestly, if you're in a good gym, you can practice and have a great time and not be really injured. Especially, light sparring. When people do like that kind of sparring, it's so fun and you don't get hurt. But in boxing, most of the time, it's always just go, go, go.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I've seen it too, man. And I don't want to say names or anything, but it's very sad when you know a young fighter that's very articulate, charismatic, they can communicate here or there, and then you see him maybe 10 years later, maybe they already had 100 fights, and just the term punchy or just not the same. Brain trauma is a real thing, so I've talked to some doctors and psychologists, and I think the answer is, to me, is the training. There's ways to think about, like some of the old school, the training has to be harder than the actual fight. At times, you should experience 100% sparring, but you just can't do that safely, man. You got to take care of your brain. You need to wear 16-ounce gloves. You need to wear headgear and mouthpiece. It's okay to be tough and macho when you're young and 100%, but it'll start adding up.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
There's nothing to prove, and
Yeah.
yeah, no, you have to take care of your body, your health, and definitely. And every martial art, right? Like in every martial art, like I think one of the things that Alisa told me about what I wish I knew when I started is like knowing, how hard I want to train. Like there's no need to prove anything. It's about growth, and there's always someone that it's better than you, stronger than you, and like it's just a thing that I enjoy. I don't really like look forward to prove to anybody that I'm the toughest man or whatever.
hmm No, I again, same thing, man. I've did some pretty hard, intense training, and I pay the price for some now with just injuries, chronic injuries that are going to be there. But I see the guys before me, and I really respect and admire those pioneers. They started this, but man, they trained so hard, and it was important to them to experience how it felt to not have any pads, to go 100%, and maybe that's what helped them evolve this art, to learn what works and what didn't work so it's easier for us, but they sacrificed. So we just got to be careful in our training. Today, there's too much science and technology where we can train hard, but train smart. I think some cross things like some yoga, some Tai Chi, some massage, there's so much out there, cryotherapy and saunas and the right nutrients and supplements and vitamins. So taking care of your mind and your body, breath work, meditation, I think these are things that can make a fighter career a little bit longer than how it used to
Yeah,
be when it
no,
was
I
just
agree.
boom, boom, boom.
I agree. And now I don't know. Well, you probably will know, but like nowadays, when, for example, I see fighters that are older, and they're being faster than the young ones. And whenever I see like what are they doing different, it's really about taking care of their body and knowing what to rest and yeah, like stuff like don't drinking alcohol. And yeah, that inspires me because it means that if I really take care of my body, I can still get over there with the younglings, because I'm not 20, and those kids are very quick. But if I take care of my body, I can still have great competition and be in good health after I'm done. So it's, yes, I
hmm
agree. We have to be smart in our training, smart with who we're sparring with as well. Like they're gonna make us grow without really like putting us in a coma or anything. I think in boxing or kickboxing or Muay Thai or mixed martial arts or even grappling, like it's very important to have sparring partners that help you grow. Because okay, that's something that happened to me in Mexico, man. Probably it's in the States as well. But when you go to a boxing gym or a MMA gym here, like it's about be see how tough you are, and then the coach will put you with the biggest or the strongest, they beat you up, and then you are like, this is not for me. And then the mentality sometimes in this area is about, oh, it's because he's not a fighter. Some people are, some people are not. But I think it's wrong. I think everybody can learn how to fight. I believe everybody can grow, but it's really, you're not gonna put someone to jump out of you know plane or whatever. Don't put him on a very tough task, but slowly grows, and then with time you will see like, this kid is amazing. You know, I don't know if I explain myself.
No, I understand. Yeah, it's so common here. I think it's because there's a lot of pride and a lot of ego. I mean, you should be proud of your gym, your rank. You want to be the best in town or whatever. But when you have a visitor that comes with respect, or they're passing through town and they won't open mat or to cross train with you, you don't have to just beat them up to prove it. Right? You can learn and grow. If you ever visited a church, usually, man, they're so welcoming to have you and they introduce you. You're visiting their facility, right? Because you are there to learn and become a better version of yourself. I think martial arts can be the same way. Now, I've had other aspects, that's a different story, where people come in with a bad attitude. Hey, we want to fight. Who wants to, no, that's different. Maybe they deserve to be beat up. But
Yeah.
well, you have people
Yeah,
come
they.
in
I
that,
mean, they do need. They need to. They really need to get beat up, because that's the only way that they can understand. Like, oh, okay, yeah, someone can
yeah.
kick my ass. Yeah, yeah,
Right. But I like what you're saying. If we could all, as a community in the world, work more together as martial arts, there's strength in numbers and there's ways we can benefit. And even an instructor can learn from their students. But yeah, fighting can be hard on you. It's about the relationships, the communication with your partners. We'll do things like with our partners where we try to, and if we know each other, it's easier. And we try to go like by percentage, like, hey, we're going to spar 50% or we're going to go 75% today. Now, you got to understand what percentages they mean by that. Do you guys do, is bare knuckle boxing big in that area?
No, not really. Like, it's mostly like every time with gloves. And I will
Yeah.
never. I don't think, man. I'm never gonna do a bare knuckle. Never. Like, like I love pain, but I think that's a different type of pain. Like, I don't I don't want to deal with that. I think a certain group of people are like you know they can do that, but
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm fine. No bare knuckle for me.
Yeah, yeah, it's gotten big in America. The bare knuckle. There's some big organizations. You get UFC fighters that retire. Maybe they just need the money, the fame. They get they
Yeah.
don't want to quit.
What
They
do you
don't know
think?
when to quit.
What do you think it is? Because one of the guys visit the gym. His name is oh man, I forgot. Alan Becker. Alan Becker. Yeah.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
Well, he fought Michael Bisping.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, anyway, he was at the gym and then he said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go to bare knuckle, right?" And he did. I think he did one fight and then he finished with that. But I'm curious, why would someone will do it? What do you think it is? Do you think yes, it's the money, or maybe it's because they still wanna like prove that they still have it? You know?
Yeah. I think it's a couple of things. It's the money. It's they don't know when to quit or give up. They're used to that popularity of, hey, there's a UFC fighter or blah blah, and they have that opportunity to continue. And maybe it's truly because they do have a passion for fighting. But yeah, I mean, I worry about the damage to your hands. Hitting someone's head without a glove, and also your head getting hit. But
Yeah,
it's a
because the skull is hard. It's
yeah.
hard.
Sometimes you hurt your hand more than you hurt them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I
Hmm.
agree. I hurt my hand a few times on matches, and I'm like, this guy, like, he had the skull so hard, I couldn't beat him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Some of
no,
the old boxers would train to lead with their head and basically block your punches with their head.
no. Yeah, yeah, that's insane, brother. Yes, and Yeah, well, and now what do you want to focus on? Like now that you like you left a little bit of like you want to just focus on the kids because you find more meaning or what's
Yeah, personally, we started as a big sport karate school, and we were always Kajukembo self defense, and then we went more to some kickboxing and boxing, then to MMA, but we still do our self defense. To me, it's about being well rounded, making our students good at everything, but also to evolve when things and times evolve. We took kata out just for that purpose of just to focus more on jujitsu and kickboxing and less memorized. We do less memorized stuff, but I do see overall a bigger value in the impact we can have with the children. But children become teens and teens become adults. So hopefully we can keep a lot of them long enough, and we still want to impact the adults as well. I don't want my school to be all kids, right? I don't want it to be all adults.
because
I like the
you
mixture.
have some adults, right? Like you
Yeah.
have some adults. Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, when these adults go to gym, it's because they want to learn self-defense or they what are the goals normally?
Yeah, people come for a lot of different reasons. I think the kids come because the parents want them to learn life skills. Now, the kids don't. The kids want to learn kicking and spinning and jumping and whatever is popular. And kids also nowadays here are growing up wanting to be a UFC fighter. So that's a new goal. When I was a kid, we wanted to play football and basketball, NFL and NBA, but they know UFC. They know it from the video games, they know it from TV.
Yeah, no, it's
Hmm.
growing a lot, and now PFL, it's also happening, right? Like the other league,
Uh huh. Yeah.
and I think it's great because then if it becomes something that like if the fighters can make more money, it's great. Like I think that's why, for example, like I didn't choose honestly, I didn't choose Muay Thai to fight pro man because here, like if you're in the top of the top, you get paid like $500 for a fight in the best league in Mexico. And we're talking about maybe a 3 month of preparation. It's a lot of sacrifice. And I know some people do it for the love, and I love that, and it's great. But if you want to make a bit more of a living, if you really are, I think boxing and mixed martial arts is the way to go. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just in Muay Thai, sometimes people are struggling. They live in a way poverty. Like it's tough, man. And so um, it's glad that mixed martial arts is growing because some people that want to like make a living and they can do it. But I like what you do about the more traditional martial arts because it's true. Uh, Athletes they need to have a traditional background where respect, humbleness, and being a good person is important. Like it's not just about kicking somebody's teeth or something like that. It's we don't want violent people. We want people to see like because a lot of people in Mexico when they see boxing they're like, oh, that's boxing, that's great. But when they see mixed martial arts, they think, oh, that's super violent. I never want my kids to do that. But if they see like, okay, these people are martial artists, they're respectful and kind of like what one championship is doing, no, in Asia,
Hmm.
where the guys, I really see the one championship guys as athletes, martial artists, humble and just different than sometimes in the UFC that sometimes they're more they make more money, yes, but they're also like more like street. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Yeah, 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 yeah. They can definitely have stereotype of being kind of thuggish and bad boy, right? And sometimes that marketing sells because people want to watch it. But it is good to see. Yeah, it is good to see that they're starting to pay more, and then maybe some organizations will provide, you know, insurance and benefits and a higher pay. These are pro athletes. Why are they getting paid so little? And you see the basketball and football players becoming million and billionaires. It's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, in Mexico we have like this joke that you see a football player, like, well, a soccer player, and they get injured their foot, and then they're crying, and then a martial artist or a fighter, he's bleeding, and he's like, I don't feel anything.
Yeah,
I
right,
mean,
right, right. Yeah.
it's just in Mexico, soccer is like the number one sport, but it's growing. Yes, it's growing, and it's important to have great schools that teach values. That's definitely important. Share the knowledge about having good, being smart about your training, not just hurting people, not just hurting your students. And I think it's looking good. I love, at least, hopefully, in 2 years we get 10 years as a gym, and our goals is to grow in boxing and mixed martial arts. Like that's definitely, like, people want to do mixed martial arts, because right now, well, we have Brandon Moreno, which is like a UFC's Mexican
Hmm.
star, and him becoming the champion, they're like amazing for Mexico. Everybody's talking about mixed martial arts, and it's growing. It's great, but yeah, you need to keep those values, because in here in this area, sometimes I do see coaches that are like super, very violent, like super hardcore, and I don't want to see that. I want to see athletes. I want to see coaches. I want to see smart people doing this sport, so it can keep growing. So yeah, I support everything that it takes, that it's brain and not just getting punched in the head.
Hmm. Yeah, when something happens or someone accomplishes something, other people see, hey, that's possible. I could do that too. And that started happening when there was champions coming from different countries. Now it is literally all over the world, and the sport has grown. Um, well, Fernando, man, it's been great talking with you, and I think you're going to do great things. So good luck and congratulations. Anything you want to close with to say to the audience?
I wish people are. Oh, one thing, definitely. It's I think on the internet now we have so many resources, so I think it's important to learn from it. My father is very old school, and he says like, "Oh, you cannot learn anything from YouTube." But I think there's some great YouTubers. I think I don't know if you have a YouTube channel, but if you do, like, you can find people like you that you can learn from it. And I think that information, share it with your coach. And if your coach is close about it, like if it's like, oh, you don't have to, I think you need to find another coach, because now I think there's great information. Everything should be shareable, and it's about growing. And for example, when my students come and they say like, oh, look at this fighter, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's great, that's amazing, because then I can learn, they can learn as well, and they're still gonna be training here with me. So it's like, it's a win-win. Like, I'm happy for them to experience. And yeah, not, don't be with a coach that is like, super jealous and just holding on to you. Like, martial arts is about growth, and you can always learn from some different people, and that's my thing.
Yeah, exactly, man. Yeah, I agree. Well, it's good that you're open minded like that, and you have your own confidence that you're not, concerned about people. There's technology is there, so let's learn from it. Yeah.
Yes, and
Hmm.
James, when you're here, please come to the gym. You're super welcome. I think my father will really like you, and he's super into Muay Boran. Muay Boran is like this. It's like Muay Thai, but like more super traditional.
Okay. Uh
Like, he
huh.
knows the
Yeah.
forms, and
Hmm.
like
Yeah.
there's like a ranking system. I think you will love it, and yeah, you're welcome anytime.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate that, and yeah, definitely. If I can get in that area, then I will do that, and the same here as well. Well, Fernando, thanks for
Definitely.
coming on. I appreciate it. Good luck with everything, and we'll stay in touch.